Yan. Yan. Yan.
Can't bounce back from a knockout period. He got knocked out early in his career twice and came back and did all this.
In his prime.
Right.
Crazy. I mean, what a man. I mean, what a world champion.
Well, he sure turned back the hands of time on that one.
The boxing world is stunned after leaked footage revealed Manny Pacquiao training hard for Mario Barrios. At 46, Pacquiao's speed and power appear untouched. His coach insists he's still got it, confidently predicting a win over Barrios. Fans are buzzing, unsure whether to doubt or believe in the legendary fighter comeback.
Machine. He ran an hour. He did strength and conditioning with you, which is not easy.
He ran an hour. He didn't realize that this gets a bit harder. And as we increase the rounds, he's going to pull back on the runs a little bit. But now he knows.
He did strength and conditioning with you. He went all out. He worked hard, and now he's doing 1,600 sit-ups.
Yeah, well,
he's a machine.
Yeah.
What kind of machine is he?
Huh?
What kind of machine?
Crazy machine. He will, but as we increase this, we'll pull the running back shorter, faster. But you know, he knows. So now he knows what the train's about. We increase the train, we increase the stations, change it up all the time, so it's continually shocking his system, and we'll get the good results.
It was a great workout this morning. He worked hard, as he always does. And the whole team's here. You feel the energy, the vibe.
Yeah,
good energy.
More people than I thought, but you know.
This is light.
This guy here, I got training with this guy.
This is light.
Been trying like weeks now. He keeps bugging me out his fucking jacket. Give me a job. Give me a job. Come on, mate.
Yesterday at the gym, he was throwing flurries. 10, 12, 15 punches in a combo. That's look incredible.
Listen, I know medicine and bags don't punch back, but he looks the same as he did.
I've been saying that. I've been saying that. He hasn't missed a beat.
No, he hasn't missed a beat.
Manny Pacquiao's recently leaked training footage has sent shockwaves through the boxing community. At 46 years old, the 8-division world champion still exhibits the blistering hand speed and quick footwork that defined his prime. In a sport where reflexes are everything, many fans and analysts were left speechless by how fresh and agile he looks in his preparation for his upcoming bout against Mario Barrios.
Don't try the boxing like that.
Because it's lazy, right? Just kind of...
When you do the boxing like that, what is that for? Because you can apply that in habit. You become a habit. When you start the boxing like...
Woo! Woo!
Like that.
The speed is still there. Woo!
In a recent discussion, boxing analysts Chris Manx and Sergio Mora weighed in on Manny Pacquiao's unexpected return to the ring. Mora highlighted that Pacquiao's speed, particularly in his footwork, remains impressively intact, a quality that doesn't necessarily fade quickly in fighters who stay active and disciplined. Unlike short-lived comeback teasers seen from other legends like Mike Tyson's brief training clips, Pacquiao's footage reveals consistent effort and high-level conditioning. Mora emphasized that Pacquiao isn't simply putting on a show. His preparation is real, intense, and purposeful.
Left, ready to go again, working with Freddie Roach. I feel like I'm back in 2010, the Wayback Machine. Pacquiao looked pretty good in some of the videos that I saw, like he wasn't in horrible shape, but he is 46 years old going up against a guy that is more than a decade younger than him in Mario Barrios. Bob Arum, in the same interview, he said that he was worried about Manny Pacquiao. This is a guy that promoted Pacquiao for most of his professional career, not promoting this fight against Barrios, but he said he is concerned for Pacquiao going into this fight. Do you have concerns about Pacquiao going in?
No, I don't have concerns. And look, I can post a video and look good for 10 seconds right now. Just like when Mike Tyson looked like a killer when he was promoting the Jake Paul fight. You writers and you guys with the non-boxing, I need to get those videos out of your head, because they're just clips. Anyone could look good for that long. I can train you to look good for 10 seconds. It'll be pretty hard, but I can train you to look good for 10 seconds on video. So don't worry about that. I look, Bob Arum knows what he's talking about, because it's the legs that's going to get to Pacquiao, not the power, not the explosive speed in front of a heavy bag. But whenever you're in front of an opponent and he's going to be moving around. It's the legs that are going to fail you. They're going to betray you. The power's not going to betray you. That lasts until the very end. His punch resistance, that's not going to betray him because that never goes. Speed, and it's because you rely on your legs. That's the thing that goes at age. So at 46 years old, Manny Pacquiao's not going to have zero legs.
He also dismissed concerns about Pacquiao's health, pointing out that the former champion's physical sharpness suggests he's in excellent fighting shape. Manx agreed that the footage supports a serious comeback effort rather than a nostalgic return. Together, they acknowledge that while age brings natural challenges, Pacquiao appears to be one of the rare exceptions, still physically capable of handling elite-level opposition with focus, precision, and drive. Manny Pacquiao's resume speaks volumes about his durability and resilience. Out of 72 professional fights, he has only been knocked out 3 times. Significantly, 2 of those knockouts came during the early years of his career when he was still
man style, but I don't think he's going to be at danger to risk his health or anything like that, especially against a Mario Barrios, because Pacquiao knows how to fight. Whenever you know how to fight, you know how to survive. You know how to slow things down. You know how to not take risks. Pacquiao only got knocked out 3 times in 72 fights. 2 of those were in the 90s before you and I even knew him. And 1 time against Marquez, it was a 1-punch knockout. Those really don't take away from your career and your longevity. It was 1-punch knockouts. It's the beatdowns over a long period of time, for 10, 12, 11, 11 rounds. Those are the ones that catch up to you. Those are the ones that actually slow you down and are detrimental to your health. 1-punch knockouts, you can get past those. Early knockouts that are way back in the rearview mirror, you can forget those. Pacquiao's going to be just fine against Mario Barrios.
Podcast host Joe Rogan recently shared his reaction to Manny Pacquiao's shocking return to form. And he didn't hold back his admiration. Rogan expressed genuine disbelief at how Pacquiao, now 46, still moves with the same speed and precision he had in his prime. He highlighted Pacquiao's impressive win over Keith Thurman at age 40 as proof that the Filipino legend isn't just defying age, he's dominating it. Thurman, an undefeated and dangerous opponent at the time, was outpaced and outclassed. Showing that Pacquiao's physical tools hadn't faded, Rogan emphasized that...
Yeah.
And
seeing him beat Keith Thurman at 40 years old, like, God damn, this guy's great. I mean, just look at his career with 8 different weight classes, world titles
8.
in.
Mm-hmm.
8 different weight classes. 40 years old, beats Keith Thurman, who's in his prime.
Right.
Crazy. I mean, what a man. I mean, what a world champion.
Well, he sure turned back the hands of time on that one.
Crazy.
Didn't he?
And he fought in spurts. Both of them fought in spurts. And I thought Keith was going to pick up on it, but Pacquiao was only fighting the end of the round.
Legendary boxer Roy Jones Jr. shared his thoughts on Manny Pacquiao's comeback and was full of admiration. He noted that it's incredibly uncommon for a fighter at Pacquiao's age to seriously return to top-tier competition. What makes Pacquiao stand out, according to Jones, is not just his willingness to fight again, but the intense level of preparation and physical readiness he's demonstrated. Jones pointed out that very few athletes in any sport, especially boxing, can maintain the kind of discipline required to train like Manny has. His work ethic, sharpness in training sessions, and ability to keep up with younger fighters reflect a rare mix of natural talent and mental toughness. Jones emphasized that this isn't a nostalgia-driven return.
Feel about Manny Pacquiao?
No, I love Manny and I'm glad Manny going in too. I'm not saying that Manny's not capable. Manny's one of the dudes that I think definitely deserves to be in. Manny always has been and always will be one of my favorites because of the way he fights. I mean, a guy to come back after being knocked out in 2 of his first 3 fights, then come back and do all the things that Manny did. That story is also just as awesome as Vinny Pazienza's story. You feel me? I mean, come on. Most guys can't bounce back from a knockout period. He got knocked out early in his career twice and came back and did all this.
Well, you know what? Being that we're talking about these old fights, Roy, can you think you can rate your favorite 5 fights of your career of all time?
Of my career?
Yeah.
Yes.
It would probably be James Toney, John Ruiz, Montel Griffin 2, Richard Hall, and probably Jeff Lacey.
Mario Barrios, set to face the legendary Manny Pacquiao, has shown a composed yet determined mindset ahead of the fight. In recent interviews, Barrios made it clear that he fully respects Pacquiao's accomplishments, but doesn't see him as just a fading icon instead. Barrios views this matchup as the most significant opportunity of his career, a chance to make a defining statement. Aware of the challenges, he plans to use his youth size and physical advantages to dictate the pace and distance of the bout. Barrios understands the magnitude of sharing the ring with a boxing legend, but that hasn't shaken his belief in himself. He isn't treating this as a paycheck or publicity fight. He's preparing to win, with sharp focus and a strategic mindset. Barrios is looking to earn a career-changing victory.
When you see the Manny Pacquiao fight, what can you learn from that fight?
It showed that, combination punchers, that's how Pacquiao, was landing, his punches, combinations. And, it just showed you that, he is a great fighter, but, I'm going into this camp, into this fight confident, everything right with our game plan. And I'm going to try to execute it as best as I can.
Despite Pacquiao's age and extended break from the ring, many within the boxing community still believe he has what it takes to emerge victorious. His unmatched record winning titles across 8 weight divisions and defeating countless world champions speaks volumes. If he can add Barrios to his list of conquests, it won't just be another win. It will be a historic statement. Many feel this fight could silence critics and reaffirm Pacquiao's place among the greatest fighters the sport has ever.
On Manny Pacquiao to do some any fighter to do incredible stuff, I will bet that Manny Pacquiao will be the guy, and that's why he's one of the GOATs of the sport of boxing, or probably the GOAT, arguably. All right, Manny Pacquiao could beat Mario Barrios. Now Mario Barrios is good. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to devalue Mario Barrios, but Manny Pacquiao is just a special fighter, special human being, a freak of nature. All right? I do, and like I said in the beginning, if these guys could do it, I believe that Manny Pacquiao could do it. He lives a wholesome life. He lives a sober life. He doesn't party around and stuff like that unless he's with the wife. He's a family man. He's a God-fearing man. And look, just like George Foreman was a God-fearing man who was living a clean life and stuff like that. I believe that Manny Pacquiao, with the power of Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying? With the power of Christ, I believe that Manny Pacquiao could do it all. If he puts his mind to it, he works hard, he's focused on it. And I think that Manny Pacquiao is that. And also, I believe why Manny Pacquiao could beat Mario Barrios this fall. Of course, that's the report that they're saying. That Manny Pacquiao is going to be back in the fall. ESPN broke the news. Mike Coppinger and Sean Gibbons, over a reporter, has reported to ESPN as well. And Manny Pacquiao has spoken as well. I think that Manny Pacquiao never got demoralized again. He never got demoralized when versus Ugas. And I just think that now he could focus just in boxing, because in the last several fights that Manny Pacquiao did have, he was 1 foot in and 1 foot out, because of course he was running for senator. He was in the Senate seat. He was playing government. You know what I'm saying? And he had a lot of just as much he had a responsibility to prepare for a boxing match. He had a lot of responsibility for his country. So of course there was a lot. He had a lot in his on his hands, on the table. But now, for the first time in a long time, Manny Pacquiao is just focused on boxing. And if Manny Pacquiao is going to focus on boxing, if a dangerous man like Manny Pacquiao is going to focus on boxing, woo! Manny Pacquiao is going to go on the tear. He's going to go on the tear. And I don't think that Mario Barrios got the power to keep off Manny Pacquiao.
One of the key signs that Pacquiao isn't simply staging a spectacle is the intensity and structure of his training camp. Footage shows him engaging in high-level conditioning drills, heavy bag sessions, and reflex-sharpening exercises. His team has prioritized stamina, explosiveness, and sharpness qualities essential to fighting a younger opponent like Barrios. The workouts show not just physical effort, but strategic planning. Manny isn't training just to compete, he's training to win. Even after stepping away from professional boxing, Pacquiao never lost his fitness discipline, unlike many fighters who returned, needing to get back in shape. Manny remained active through basketball gym sessions and shadow boxing. His conditioning was never allowed to fade, making his current preparation more of a sharpening process than a full rebuild. This consistency may be the hidden advantage that allows him to perform beyond expectations.
Day one. Marvin. Good. Good.
Boxing analyst Ryan Campbell offered a more balanced perspective. While he acknowledged that fighters in their mid-40s naturally face stamina and reaction time challenges, he reminded fans of other legends like George Foreman who achieved stunning comebacks well into their 40s. Campbell argued that boxing sometimes allows for unique moments where preparation and legacy intersect. If anyone can make such a moment happen, Campbell suggests it might be Pacquiao, especially with his ring IQ and elite conditioning.
Campbell, Manny Pacquiao, the first and only 8-division world champion. He'll be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame next month. And then in July, BC, he's going to come out of retirement. Why now?
By the way, between those two dates, I believe he has an election coming up for a Senate position in the Philippines. So we always know that Manny is a busy man. He gets after it. He also dares to be great. And this is wild news. Look, in the boxing underground rumor mill, this had been floating around for a couple months. We just didn't know if it was going to be for real. Was Manny really going to commit to not just coming back after 4 years away, after just one fight in the last 6 years, at age 46, but to come back directly into a title fight against a young, in his prime, active champion, Mario Barrios? It's interesting theater, to say the least. It's a pay-per-view main event, reportedly for July 19th. And we know Manny Pacquiao has always brought big business, but now he's going to bring it in more of the late career George Foreman type of way to etch himself into that record book even further. Can Manny do it? I mean, look, the odds are certainly against him. But there's one thing about certain legends in this game. Think Bernard Hopkins, who fought into a very late age. Some of them, as long as they can physically get themselves into that ring, sometimes they can reproduce magic for one night. So it's a romantic situation. I got cats walking around. Yep. People are excited to see the Pac-Man back. You just got to kind of figure out, is this for real? Is he going to be for real? Or are we going to send him into a physical, violent retirement?
Yeah, Reggie's a big Manny Pacquiao fan. He loves him because he knows about Father Time, because Father Time is undefeated. We know cats have 9 lives.
This fight isn't just about victory, it's about legacy. Pacquiao already stands as one of the sports icons, but this comeback has the potential to enhance his legend even further. A win against Barrios would make him a rare example of a fighter who didn't just return for nostalgia, but came back to compete and win at the highest level. For fans, this could be a final reminder of why they fell in love with boxing in the first place, the combination of heart discipline and raw talent.
29-year-old Mario Barrios.
Look, I'm not saying the odds will be high that he's going to come back and pull this upset or even be ultra competitive. But again, it's sort of like Manny's already superhuman. Turning pro at like age 15 or 16 at 106 pounds and winning titles in 8 divisions. And, oh, by the way, 2 fights ago for Manny in 2019, he came out of retirement and beat an unbeaten Keith Thurman for the welterweight title at the age of 40. There's very few greats that you can call all-time greats, and I think sometimes even above that category, there's that upper room. Is Manny Pacquiao one of those in boxing history? Sure. But let's look at a couple things. The last thing to go is power, yes. Manny was also absurdly fast in his prime. So like a Roy Jones Jr. who hung on far too long, but was still fighting professionally at the age of 50, he still got speed that kind of compares to the average or above average speed that's out there today. But what about that experience? I think the biggest part of why people maybe not completely poo-pooing this or going 46 years old, what are we doing? Is this another Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight? No, it's not.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned.